What's up, everybody? Chill Scrub here, man. Coming back at you with another video. Sadly, I hate to address this again. Previously, I made a video called "The FGC Is Trash" about 6 months ago. It's been a lot of mixed reviews, a lot of positive, some negative, and apparently a lot of people don't understand my point of when I say the FGC is trash and why the FGC is oversensitive. As I posted last night, I meant what I said. The FGC is overly sensitive, and to me, I feel like the LGBTQIA, they have pretty much corrupted what made it good. I'm not saying that you should hate the LGBTQIA. I'm not saying none of that. If that's what you rock with, that's what you rock with. As long as we're not trying to force that upon each other, which they are actually doing. You go on Twitter, you get attacked by mobs because they don't agree with a simple opinion that you stated. Big Majin's going through that right now. Little Majin's brother, or whatever relation that is to him, and he was simply stating that I'm going to refer to you as you actually are biologically, which is a male. No matter what kind of transformation you go through, transgender, or whatever you go through, whatever gender dysphoria, whatever you want to call it, whatever you go through, at the end of the day, you was born with an XY chromosome. Therefore, you are a man. You're not born with an XX chromosome. You're not a female. And that's the type of thing I'm saying that's getting the FGC overly sensitive and overly pretty much gender politics and racial politics and all this other things. Back to what I was saying with the whole FGC, the Filipino champ thing. When Filipino champ got blasted for making a watermelon comment saying that watermelon lives matter and all that. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go through Twitter and I'm going to show you a lot of what I was going through. And I was just trying to make some points. I'm not trying to argue with nobody and all that. This is not a roast or exposed video or nothing like that. It's just me stating my point or trying to clarify on the points I made earlier, if I didn't clarify on those points enough to the point where you can understand it. Now, you can disagree with it all you want to. I just want to make sure you understand where I'm coming from. So it started with this guy right here. If I can find it. Luckily, I'm not blocked. This is where is it? Yes, Yukiko's wife. She's definitely bae. I think it started here. Benny the Buff. It says TK Sahar, whatever that means. TK _ Sahar. I don't know what that means. It says politics. Funny word for being racist, and it shows F Champ with the whole check this out. Watermelon lives matters, and I'm like, it's just a watermelon. Me personally, it's just a watermelon. I didn't take it any further than that. As you can see, I'm clearly fucking black. It's not that big a deal. It's nothing to raise a fuss over or try to counsel people over a fucking watermelon. It's a big ass watermelon. Watermelon lives matter. And I'm trying to figure out, when did watermelon become mutually exclusive to black people only? But maybe I'm missing something that I didn't catch earlier. And how dare I speak out of turn and not support something that sounds completely idiotic to me? So let's scroll further down and see what happens. I respond. We on a public forum, so you are allowed to respond to anybody that says something. That's what it is. I said, it's just a watermelon, dude. It's just a watermelon. Their response is, yes, the man who wants to keep politics out of the good Christian FGC. Please enlighten me with your take on this one, friend. So clearly he's having a condescending tone. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, it's the internet. The problem comes into play is, when did I ever say Christian FGC? This is the thing I hate about the internet and what a lot of people tend to do. What they tend to do is they tend to mix up your words and quote you incorrectly. So they spread a lot of information about what you said. So this is why I like to clarify on things. I never said the FGC was Christian by any means. I like it the way it was when you get to talk shit. What y'all trying to do now is pacifies everything, and you can't say anything. You're trying to censor everything. You're ironically, through you saying that, you're proving my point by making the FGC Christian, where you can't offend anybody, you can't say anything to anybody, you can't say anything that's moderately offensive, anything. I can understand when it came down to the Mr. Wiz allegations and all that. That's pretty serious. If he did it, I'm still saying if he did it. I'm not going to counsel somebody if they didn't do it. I still believe in the American system as innocent to proven guilty, not guilty to proven innocent. So let's continue on to what he said. It says, go to show replies. It's not that deep. It's a watermelon. Calm down. Didn't know that a watermelon was exclusive to black people only. I'm not about to burn somebody at the stake for a bad joke. Yes, it was. The thing is, I do agree with what people say that Filipino Champ's joke was in bad taste. I agree with that. It definitely was. But am I going to burn him at the stake for it and try to ruin his FGC career over it? No, it's not that deep. This is how this man eats. So I'm not going to try to stop him from just making an idiotic comment. We all do it. I'm pretty sure if we was to dig through this person's Twitter and we can find something that he said that wasn't politically correct. So why would I try to counsel this dude over something it's minuscule over as a simple comment? It's not like he out here raping people and doing anything that's really crazy. So I said that. Next comment is a joke that shouldn't have been made in the first place. Do you not understand stereotypes, pal? Dude literally made this dumbass joke a week after George Floyd passed. That shows you this man doesn't care about what happened to him. He also doesn't give a fuck about Black Lives Matter, or as he quoted, BML. My thing with that is, one, he's not obligated to care about George Floyd or whatever happened to George Floyd. Two, he's not obligated to care about Black Lives Matter. He's not obligated to care about these things. He can say what he wants, hence the First Amendment. You have the right to say what you want. Now, people can say what they want back to you, and I'm not going to flame him for saying what he said to him. You're within your rights to say what you want to say. And yes, I do understand stereotypes, but I'm trying to figure out, how does watermelon equivalent to Black Lives Matter? Well, I can understand how it equates to Black Lives Matter, but how does that go to? It went from watermelon lives matter to George Floyd. How does that happen? What, because he passed a week ago? That holds no bearing on what he said about a watermelon. What I say in contention to what he just said, what is the correlation between George Floyd and a watermelon? Why should he care about what happened to George Floyd? Black Lives Matter don't even care about black people. The joke is targeted at Black Lives Matter, not George Floyd. And that's true. I've done a post on Twitter a long time ago, writing the old, screenshotting and posting the old mission statement of Black Lives Matter, which really has a lot of LGBTQ and a lot of feminist agendas. Now, my problem with that is, we've done this in the 60s before, and we end up getting Section 8 housing and all these other things that actually destroyed the nuclear black family, which they actually said in the mission statement, if I'm not mistaken. You can always check the tweet for yourself, where they said we're out to destroy the nuclear black family, or not the black family, but the nuclear family, which is the core household of which America is built off of. So yes, I kind of have a problem with that. And the fact is, how does this benefit black people when gay, trans, LGBT, whatever you want to call them, they have more rights than black people. They have more power than black people. They have more wealth than black people. At the end of the day, in the 1960s, when we were trying to integrate with white people, and in the 70s and all that other stuff, at the end of the day, black people always get the short end of the stick when they deal with other people. We never fight for us, and we always integrate our agendas with somebody else. No, black problems should remain with black people, and we should fix our own doghouse first before we try to fix anybody else. I've always said that, and I always will stick to that. Fix our problems first. If we gonna talk about how white people are out here killing black people, and how white people are or police officers are brutalizing black people, and how the government is against black people, well, we should also talk about how black people are destroying black people, and how when the whole George Floyd thing was going on in the first place, we was over here sitting there looting and pillaging the same hoods that we live in. It doesn't make any logical sense that we destroy the same place that we live in. We never upbring the black culture. We always give it from either a hood narrative, a victim narrative, or pretty much a liberal narrative where every black person has to be a Democrat, or everybody has to be left-leaning, or that's black has to be left-leaning, and stuff like that. Again, I don't have a problem with what he's saying. I'm just clarifying my point of view so you can understand where I'm coming from. Yeah, this is not a tech-in video. This will be on the YouTube channel. It's going to be in the playlist under life and all that other stuff, which you can follow me on Instagram and all that stuff. You can check that stuff out from there. So let's go further. You didn't even read the second pic you sent me. I'm like, yes, I did. And he asked me what's wrong with the mission statement. I said that a guy named RX Painkiller, RX, or Anthony Vola, he said what he had to say. He said, Benny, this isn't racism, but honestly, I feel like people need to put context to when they make a joke like this, because I saw him trying to explain it, and it just came off really bad. And it did. It really did. It didn't come off great at all, but I understand what he was trying to say. It's not that big a deal. It's a fucking watermelon. Let's get back to the core of it. It's a fucking watermelon. I don't know, bro. He said that shit after George Floyd passed during the protest. It's a little racist, bro. You're trying to drive your own point home. You're trying to connect dots that aren't there. So you're literally upsetting yourself for no reason. This is why I have a lot of problems with SJWs and things like that. The old saying goes, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So they might have started off with great intentions, just like Black Lives Matter might have started off with great intentions, but look what it's become. It's eating itself from the inside out. RX Painkiller Anthony Vola says, "This isn't racism though. Please check your definition. That is prejudice and ignorance at its best. To be a racist, you will have to literally have to prevent someone opportunities and many others their actions because of their race." And he didn't. He just made a prejudiced comment. I mean, everybody's prejudiced in one way or another, so I guess that's fine. I mean, I don't really have anything to say about that. Bro, I don't want to get into this with you. What he said was bullshit, and there is no good reason at all to defend him for his shitty behavior. A joke like that should not be made whatsoever. And this dude is acting like that, like they hate him because of politics. Shame. Shit is asinine. Well, there's this thing called racial politics. So yes, they're hating his because his political views on race. Racial politics. That's how that works. He said, like how dense and out of touch you are with the world. Do you have to say shit and then be like, oh no, they didn't like me because of politics, because we live in a society? Motherfucker. Trying to say this shit like it's a joke. What? Again, here's the problem with the internet and trying to virtual signal 24/7. It looks very bad, and you're trying too hard for the internet. Again, I have no problems with this dude. We have our disagreements. We moved on. But I just want to highlight on this. I'm using him as an example, not to expose him, but use him as an example to further drive my point home, if that makes any sense. Last comment of this part anyway. I wouldn't necessarily call him a racist for this, but to be honest, still a really, really dumb and ignorant thing for him to tweet in this way about something very serious. But if you're gonna criticize Filipino champ for this, but you let your favorite celebrities get away with saying absolute nonsense on a daily basis, to me, you're being intellectually disingenuous, or morally disingenuous at that too. So, that being said, I'm gonna go, and we're gonna keep going further. Yukiko Asobe. So here's the part that actually started to irritate me. This right here. I haven't been up for half an hour, and this shitty takes have already started. He gets on my post about me saying, here's the thing, they will go through your tweets and they will look for shit, and then when they find something they don't like, they want to go crazy. The FGC has become oversaturated with sensitivity. It takes a lot of the joy out of the thing that make the FGC cool. Keep the politics and woke mentality out of fighting games. That's my stance. I'm going to stick to that. And again, they're going crazy. And again, they're right to express their own opinion. I'm just stating mine. And they don't stop coming. A person that follows me on Twitter, he said, this is exactly why I watched the FGC from the rafters. I'm still trying to figure out how SJWs that infested now can be so inclusive and intolerant at the same time. Again, by you doing this, by you making these screenshots and throwing a whole hissy fit over it, you're proving our point. The thing is, the LGBTQI, whatever the fuck y'all call yourselves, y'all are supposed to be tolerable of other people's opinion. Not act like Hitler because somebody says something that you don't like. And the fact that you have the power to actually counsel people just because they say things you don't like definitely holds more power than the black man, which is what I stated earlier. Sorry about that, guys. Let me get back to this. I know that was unprofessional of me, and I'm probably gonna end up cutting that out. So back to what we was talking about. Are we supposed to like allow harassment and all this and all that bullshit? I'm sorry, I'm like my mind goes a lot faster than I can actually read. They just want to go back to being able to say whatever slurs they want to with no consequences. Fuck do they want? Nobody said just go around saying racial slurs or slurs in general with no consequence, but you're trying to force your belief system, which it is, because LGBTQIA, it's a lifestyle, it's a belief system. You believe that you're gay, you do gay things, that's perfectly fine. But don't try to force that on society. Society has already made the standard that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. No matter what you do to yourself, you still are a man or a woman based off of your chromosomes. Based off of XY and XX biology. See, the thing about the whole LGBTQIA movement, what I don't agree with, is the fact that they're trying to destroy biology and destroy everything that's fucking normal. They're trying to go against science. They're trying to go against things that are proven. I don't agree with that. More condescending talk. I miss when we could get away with being bigots online without consequence. Fix it for them. Fixed it for them. Okay. I don't really know what that means, but we just gonna keep going. I don't understand what this has to do with anything, so I'm just gonna keep moving. I'm just trying to keep it relevant. There's more from what he said. Shit is atrocious. It's atrocious by making a comment. Never did I insult your intelligence. Never did I call you a racial slur. I just stated an opinion, and you're going crazy. That makes perfect sense. That's showing how tolerant you are of people. Great people skills, man. Great people skills. Really putting the scrub part of his name to good use. See, it's great. It's easy to collectively try to shit on somebody on the internet. It's great to do that. It's very easy. But it's very hard to really try to sit there and understand what the person is saying. That's hard. It takes this thing called tolerance, patience, and common sense that a lot of people just do not have. I'm not saying that you have to be a genius or intellectually gifted to have these things, but at the same time, you would think that they would have that. Seeing as though they're so high on a pedestal. So that's it with that thread. We're going to keep it moving. All caps. Are you fucking kidding me with this shit? I swear I'm living in a Black Mirror episode. What the fuck? I'm not going to repeat what I already said. You already know what I said. We're going to keep going. What I said in context of what he just said is, look, you're trying to virtue signal and that's fine. Clearly you can't handle a simple discussion without getting triggered. Bro, your takes are terrible. Instead of combating what I actually said, we're just going to say his takes are terrible and hopefully the mean boogeyman goes away. Now I'm being condescending because that shit is annoying. Who's letting the clowns leave the circus? See, it's all fun and games when we do things like that. Now, if we want to go by your logic, you should be counseled so far, since you want to sit here and discriminate towards people for having a different opinion than yours and being a complete ass for no reason. You should be counseled, right? If we want to just go by the laws that govern the LGBTQIA and a lot of the liberals and a lot of left-leaning people, we should go by that logic. That means, therefore, anybody who says something that goes against anybody should be counseled by default. When you use another person's logic against them. Okay, oh shit. Go for it. Went back too fast. I think that's it, and I think I got in a conversation with this dude right here. Let me see. Oh yes, he said, so if Black Lives Matter doesn't care about black people, then tell me what they stand for. Just letting you know you're on the wrong side of history, and I hope you do more research on Black history. Well, sir, whatever your name is, I'm very well versed in Black history, first and foremost. And how does Black Lives Matter help Black people in any way, in any shape or form? Because from what I see from Black Lives Matter, is the fact that they go out their way to make sure that everybody knows how bad Black people are, how we are victims of everything, how we are victims of police brutality, how we're victims of white people, how we're just victims overall, and we're helpless, defenseless people. Now, one of my favorite Black history leaders is Malcolm X. I don't really take the Martin Luther King approach to things. I believe in the solidarity of Malcolm X and what he said, what he stands for, which is white folks leave us alone. We will build for ourselves. In a nutshell, that's what he stood for, and I perfectly agree with that. What it looks like from the Black Lives Matter congregation, or whatever you want to call them, it looks like begging. Well, why do they keep beating us? Well, why won't they share with us? Well, why do white people treat us like this? Well, nobody wants to hear that 24/7. As a Black man that actually lives in the hood, that lives in a low-income apartment housing, the last thing I want to hear more of is how much my life sucks. I get it. This is the main core reason why I'm against Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is not talking about how black on black violence is one of the leading killers of Black people. They're not talking about that. When there's a news story of how a Black person kills another Black person, we're not out here talking about that. But George Floyd get killed by a police officer, or any police officer story, oh, we're on that. We want to defund the police, the same police that's meant to protect us. So not only do we want to make the Black people victims, we want to criminalize the same people that are here to protect us. Now, I'm not saying that police are perfect. No, of course they're not. And I've had some bad run-ins with the police too, but that doesn't mean I judge every police officer based off of over a couple of people's actions that's been over-publicized. That's not how that works. Now, don't get me wrong, Black Lives Matter might have stood for something great when it first started, but look what it's turned into. It's literally the 60s repeating itself. It's like Malcolm X versus Martin Luther King all over again. Martin Luther King is fighting for integration, to be with white people. Malcolm X is fighting for the other, to be away from white people. Let us do for ourselves and build for ourselves. That's the stance I take. I take that stance. Let us do for ourselves and build for ourselves. But I don't want to make this video too long, and I'm pretty sure I got my point across thoroughly. So I want to thank everybody for watching this. Make sure you subscribe to me on YouTube. Check me out on Twitter. I post a lot more on Twitter. Check me out on Instagram. I post a lot more on Instagram. Both of those are the Chill Scrub. Twitch, I'm the Chill Scrub 1. And last but not least, if you want to talk to me, person to person or face to face, please hit me up on my Discord. The link will be in the description below. Hope everybody has a good night, and peace.